Hi, June. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I just want to start with some general questions about your work. You describe yourself as a relationship expert and a psychic medium. I wonder through what lens do you see relationships differently than other people do with your interesting background?
We live in a 3D world. We're here in this human body having this human experience, but that's not who we are. We're not the suit that sits here. We are the soul that's inside. The reality of it is, you chose every relationship that you're in. And you chose that before you came here for a reason, either a karmic lesson, a soulmate lesson, whether to teach someone or learn something. And remember that you're in relationship with everyone. Relationships aren't just romantic. You're in relationship with your family, your friends, your coworkers, your employees. Everyone you meet, you're in some type of a relationship with. It might be brief and it might be long term, it might be short term. But you're in a relationship with everyone. And we can always look at the breadcrumbs and see how everything in your life has brought you to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and brought you to where you are right now. And believe it or not, you are always perfectly where you're supposed to be. You can't change that. You're where you're supposed to be. But you can see how the different relationships affected you in your life, and how if you hadn't met this person, this wouldn't have happened. And if you hadn't been with this person, then you wouldn't be doing this in your life, those types of things. So every relationship you're in for a reason, and I can help you understand that reason and see it from a higher perspective.
Wow. So let me just stop for a minute and let that sink in. So, if I'm hearing this correctly, the relationships are, you're saying they're chosen by us, and you repeatedly use the word lesson. So, the reason we're in these relationships is for this deeper lesson that we
Exactly.
may not even be aware of on, like, and you're saying the 3D level or the surface level.
Exactly. And that's why people get stuck in the quagmire. They get stuck in the drama of it, and that just lowers your vibration. It doesn't raise your vibration. It lowers your vibration. You get just stuck in it and you get depressed and you get lonely and you get heartbroken and blah 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 blah. But it's all happening for a valid reason. And if you can uncover that reason and understand it, then you can move forward in your life. And no matter what happens in your life, no matter who you're with, no matter what relationship comes into your life, you can be grateful for every single one of
Okay.
them. I look at people that get married and have children and get divorced, and oh, they hate that person. I never want to speak to that person again. Wait a minute. You couldn't have had those beautiful children without that person. Maybe that was the only reason they came into your life. Be so grateful. You have wonderful children, right?
Yes.
Who wouldn't want
I
that?
have
And I always tell people too, it's always better to have loved and lost
mhm.
than never love at all. Because I meet people that have never had an intimate relationship, believe it or not.
Wow.
Never had that type of a relationship, never felt that.
How would you help, or what advice would you give to listeners right now who are single women who are looking for a relationship? That's an area of focus for my clients and my listeners. If there's a relationship as a way to grow and there's a lesson, how can they see that situation differently, or how could they move forward more quickly?
So the only thing you can really do in this life is delay your lessons. Okay. That's the only power that you truly have. That's your choice. And we're magnets. We're always attracting or repelling at any given time. And believe it or not, when you chase after something, it just runs away the other direction. That's when your magnet flips and you're repelling everything. So you can't chase a relationship. You have to attract a relationship. And this is where I teach people how to raise their vibration. Because when you talk about energy, vibration, frequency, it's all different names for the same thing. And you do your part, you'll get everything you want in this world, including the most wonderful relationship you could ever have.
So if okay. Okay, so if if someone is feeling, like you said earlier, just kind of stuck in the energy maybe of heartbreak or, divorce, loss, can they attract someone before do they have to go through the full healing of the energy and the lesson of the first
You've
relationship?
gotta get Yes, you have to get out of that
Okay.
vibration. It's a vibrational thread. Everyone that's in your life is on that same energetic thread. It's like a radio station. You can't get the station in unless you're on the right
Mhm.
channel. So everyone in your life is going to be on that same vibrational frequency. And if you're depressed, guess what? You're going to attract everybody else that's depressed. If you're walking around heartbroken and crying, then you're going to attract everybody else that's in the same boat.
Mm,
Okay? You have to understand why it happened, what you'd like to have in your life, focus on that, and then go about your business, and it will stop being attracted to
yeah.
you. That's how it works. Get your butt out there, go enjoy your life, and the universe will make sure that he's available for you to bump into, whether it's fishing, kayaking, shopping at the grocery store. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. When you have faith and trust and you know that the universe is going to bring you what you ask for, go about your business, raise your vibration, and it will automatically start getting attracted to
Oh,
you.
wonderful. I wanted to ask a few questions about your unique story. I know that you've had a profound experience of crossing to the other side. How did that experience change your understanding of why we're here?
So when you live in fear, you can't be in touch with your soul. By the way, the opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. Okay? So when you're living in fear, you can't have love in your life. And you also are not in touch with your soul. And your soul is the difference between I know and I think. When you think, it's your brain. When you know, it is your soul. So you
Oh,
have to get out of your head in order to be able to see that energy. So your soul is way too big for your body. Some of it's in your body, some of it's over your body that some people can see, and they call it an aura.
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fascinating. I want to talk for a minute about your book, All's Fair in Love and Karma, and how your book suggests that love and karma are deeply intertwined. Can you describe this a bit more in real time for listeners right now that have different relationships? Like you said, we always tend to focus on romantic relationships, but all the different relationships in our lives. How does this really play out, the karma piece?
Sure. So, first of all, love is the highest vibration there is. Okay. When I died and went to the other side, it was just incredible love, like you can't even imagine. But when you're here, you've set up this story that you're going to play out here with the people from the other side that you either owe a karmic debt to or they owe a karmic debt to you. Now, you create karma in the life you're in. If you do something to someone else, you don't make amends and you don't have remorse, you owe them a karmic debt in the next lifetime. Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with karma. Karma is not a bad thing because everything is always happening for your highest and best. Always. They want nothing but the best for you.
Okay.
No one is meant to live a life of lack over here unless that's what they've chosen. Okay?
Yeah.
So, maybe you have a family situation where you hate your mother, okay? You don't get along. You're like cats and dogs. You've never liked each other, okay? Oh, but you're supposed to, right? Because it's your mother. That's what society tells you.
Right.
The reality of it is, it's possible that was a karmic relationship and their whole purpose was to come through and have you be born, number one, okay? And give you whatever background story that you need to help you be the person that you are. Because for everything that happens in your life, it makes you who you are. Everything, good, bad, indifferent, it doesn't matter. All those pieces make you who you are. And you take that knowledge with you, with your soul, when you go from lifetime to lifetime. You take knowledge and you take all the things that you feel. So if you feel hurt, if you feel any of that, you take that with you to the other side. Anger, hurt, love, all those emotions. Okay.
Okay.
However, there is a difference between karmic relationships and soulmate relationships. You'll know you're in a karmic relationship because it never quite feels right. It always feels like you're waiting for the shoe to drop or you're looking over your shoulder all the time, looking for the red flags. That's a karmic relationship. And that will end as soon as one or the other learns the lesson they're supposed to learn. It will end immediately. It's like you wake up in the morning and say, why do I have this person in my life? That is a karmic relationship. Could be friends, could be lovers, could be anybody. Okay.
Yeah.
A soulmate relationship now is still there to teach you something or for you to learn something, but it's also there for you to afford some love and comfort along the way. And a soulmate relationship does not have to end as soon as the lesson is learned. It really depends what you wrote into your life story. Okay. So if you've written that you're going to stay with this person for 40 years and you're going to teach each other all of the lessons you're supposed to learn, then so be it.
Mm.
That's a soulmate relationship.
Okay. So they're different. They're very different, the two relationships, those two examples.
Yeah,
But we all have both in our lives. Is that right? Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes, we do. We have several.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at any given time, can someone say have like a soulmate relationship with one of their family members and a karmic relationship with their romantic relationship? Can they
Of
all go
course.
in all these different
Of course.
categories?
You have many of them.
Okay.
You have many of them going on at the same time. And I even had a child. One of my kids was my soulmate for a long time.
So
So
people
yeah.
need to be really connecting to their higher self, their intuition, to their soul. Some people feel very disconnected from their intuition, especially if they feel like they've had a string of bad relationships. Where does someone begin the process of beginning to connect to that inner knowing?
I highly recommend meditating and meditating properly.
Okay.
And anybody that wants directions to do it properly, just email me. I'm happy to send them to you. JuneEdward111 at Gmail.
Okay.
And I will send you complete directions because most people don't meditate properly and they don't teach it properly either.
You've
Yes,
done
I recommend 20 minutes, only 20 minutes, 3 times a day, and it's going to take your average person 18 to 19 minutes to literally connect to their soul. And you'll know when you do it because it's the highest high you'll ever
oh,
experience. I love to meditate. Oh my God. It's just when you connect to your higher self that's in that fifth dimension, it is a high.
so you can see if I'm hearing you correctly and you're connected to that, you can have a totally different perspective of everything, your relationships, your path. You can see it from a
Yes,
different
you will
perspective.
start learning how exactly. You will start seeing that things are not what you think they are. Things are not, how they're projected to you. We are literally actors in a play, sleeping at night.
Okay. Okay, very interesting. I want to talk for just a moment about your program. What would you say is a common energetic blind spot that couples struggle with? And any tips on how to view that problem differently?
So interesting when you're in a situation where you're not getting along, one or the other will continue to try and engage in fighting. And the reason that they do that is because they want to communicate with you. They just don't know how.
Okay.
Okay. So when you're in that stage, one of the first things I try to teach people in the program is how to mirror the other person. Because when the other person is that upset, you can just asking them how their day was will trigger them.
Yeah.
So you don't ask questions. Don't ask them anything. Just mirror them. You walk in the door and don't say a word. And they say, "Oh, you home? Yes, honey, I'm home. How was your day? It was great. How was yours?" So if they're not asking you, you don't ask, okay? But you can give open-ended statements. You can walk in the door and sit down and say, "Oh, I had a really good day today. I hope yours was too." It's not a question. I hope yours was too. Then they're going to think, "Oh, he's hoping I had a good day." Yeah, mine was okay. But you're not asking a question because that's what triggers people,
Okay.
especially under those situations.
Okay. So it's a lot of it is communication style and technique to learn how to work through that time when things are so tense. In the wording of your program, Relationship Mastery, I wonder the term mastery, when somebody has achieved that level, what does that mean as far as how they function in a relationship, as far as the harmony, how the growth is something deeper? Like, what does it mean actually?
It means you can understand why you're in the relationship.
Mhm.
You can have a deeper love connection, more of a soul connection with someone. It also means that you're there to put yourself first, but to help the other person understand how to put themselves first as well.
Mhm.
Okay? So no one can make you happy. You can only make yourself happy. But when you've hit that level that you're that happy and you're with someone else that's also that happiness just keeps ping-ponging back and forth between the two of you. and happiness just continues to grow. You don't get triggered by things. If somebody says something and it seems to be a little off, you don't take it
Mhm.
personally. You understand where it's coming from and why it's coming from that, and nothing can affect you. You're like Teflon. Because realistically, no one has the power to make you anything. I can't make you happy. I can't make you sad. I can't make you love me. I can't make you hate me. That's all on
Yeah.
you. And you learn how to own that. And you learn how, everything around you is affected by you.
It sounds like you're describing with mastery in that way. It's like a sense of also total responsibility, ownership for your own energy and how you're
You
putting it
are.
out
You
and
are
how you're
responsible
receiving
for you.
instead of
Absolutely.
constantly in reaction to everything going on around you.
And that's where everyone's power lies. It lies in your actions and your
Mhm.
reactions. That's the reality of life.
Mm.
This is where your power lies.
Mhm. In terms of romantic love, if we were to look at that through a higher lens versus the one maybe we're used to, the one that we're used to looking at it through,
Okay.
how does love appear different
So
through a higher lens?
so love never dies. Love never dies. Okay. Let's say you were with someone, you could have only been with them for a couple of years. Love of your life. Okay. Love of your life. That person dies. They go to the other side. That love is still there for both people. I've had children that have lost their parents. Same thing. I have them do the same. The love never dies. Never ever. Love is the highest vibration there is. Think about being in
Mhm.
love. Okay. Think of most people. I've met people that have never been in love, but most people have been in love. And it's almost like you're dancing on clouds,
Yeah.
right? You're just so happy. And this is what love is. Love is always supposed to be that way and that kind of a high. And when you get in touch with your own soul, this is the high and the love that you have, and you feel it. And you'll feel it from other people. And you'll also know the people to avoid, because you'll feel the energy that they're emitting. Okay, low vibration. You're going to start staying away from that, and you're going to start bringing in people in your life that are of a higher vibration. And that higher vibration is based on love.
Okay.
Love. It never dies. It's always there.
Wow, I wanna just take a second and really let that sink in because it's often misunderstood as a feeling that, again, with my clients, a lot of my listeners, is a feeling that we're chasing and want to be able to feel in the context of another person instead of thinking of it more as a state of being or something we always have within us, and the love that we've had before is still part of who we are now. It's still we can still access. I feel like that really changes the whole framework of what it is, and becoming more internal feeling inside, and we can feel it just alone versus this need, a feeling of lack that I don't have love in my life because I'm single. It's a game changer.
It starts with you. You have to love yourself. And when you love yourself, you still have
Yeah.
love,
Yeah,
right?
still
The
there.
love is there. You feel the love. It's all around
Mhm.
you. The love is still there.
Yeah.
You don't have to have somebody else to validate that for you, because that's what a relationship is, right?
Mhm.
For a lot of people, it's just validating that you're lovable, right? Or that someone will love you. Love yourself. It starts with you, and then it emanates from
Mhm.
you, and then it attracts more of it to you.
Yeah, wonderful. I have one final question I ask every guest, and it's about this lens concept again. And the idea is if you were to suggest one lens that listeners could think of trying on to see things differently, to experience their lives differently, their relationships differently, what would be a lens that you would suggest?
I would suggest a lens of happiness, because other than meditating, happiness and laughter are the other two things that will raise your vibration. So be happy, smile, say hi, be happy, and that will help to raise your vibration as well and the other people that are around you.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, thank you so much, June, for being here today. It's been wonderful having you on the show. It's been wonderful learning about you. I will be attaching notes about with links to all of your. Hold on, I'll change it. I'll be including in the show notes links so you can reach out to June directly to learn more about her program and her book. And thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.